All right, so thanks for joining me in today's video. What we're going to do is we're going to take a look at AMC. The stock continues to push lower. I know I have a lot of people on the channel that also watch this stock and are interested in it. And really, the stock continues to crash and push into lower prices. So I want to give you a little insight behind this. As we take a look at just some of the things happening. Here's AMC and here's some other tickers. Everything else is going, not everything, but, some stocks are heading higher. And then we've got AMC toast by about 34%. So it continues to move lower. So I've done a couple of things on this stock in the past, and people don't like it. But, for me, I just try to be open about my thoughts. This was one of the videos in the past, and this was about a year ago, where somebody laugh at 15 and now high 21s. Not sure I'm following your logic. The fact is what happens with some of these smaller stocks, okay? People buy into it. They don't know how to short. A lot of people are new to investing. They put a lot of money into it. So hopefully you're not in that case. They don't know how to spread their money out properly in the market. So what they do is they buy into the hype of what other people are chatting about, yapping about, and it's the gossip thing that happens. So they go in buying into these things. So they buy into the news concept, or they buy into the vision or what's happening. So ultimately we get influenced. Now, for me, I look at it from a chart and price perspective of managing money and managing risk, which is not in most cases what I see with a lot of other folks out there. So when we look at this, the risk here was to, really to the downside here. And this is what's been going on. Now, this stock is now down into the $3.43 range. It's been kind of holding sideways here for a little while. I'm going to look at it on the monthly basis. So yeah, it popped quite a bit here in the past, and that's kind of like a euphoric stock. And this is where a lot of people get euphoric over it. And then it comes back to its normal levels, right? This is the normal level that it was at in the past for quite a while, between, let's say, $10 and around $2, and it was there for quite some time. So we had that pop and then came back, and now it's probably going to stay here for quite a while. That's just a normal tendency. If you look at GoPro, in the same case, look, this stock was here near the highs, and then it sold off. And then we kind of hung out here between the $7 and $3 range, and then it popped a little higher and people got euphoric. And then again, it's selling back down. So ultimately, we're just staying right there in the sideways action. So this is GoPro for you. GME, GameStop, same thing. We've got, a little pullback, high rise, and now we're pulling back quite a bit. So this one's a little different. It popped quite a bit higher. But even now, naturally, the last year or two, it hasn't really done much in those cases. Now, that's not to say you can't trade it, but when we look at AMC here, we're back to kind of these levels. It'll take a lot of distribution to kind of get out of this, or a lot of trading to get out of this, or even just to get back to 63 or get back to 20. But what happens is people buy into the $20 range, and now they lost a lot of money in these. And then when I say things that are, hey, the stock just doesn't look good, most people are long. So in this case, when I say, hey, the stock doesn't look good, they kind of don't believe in the vision, or those kinds of things. They don't believe in, they don't want to admit to what's going on and what's happening. So we just kind of have a fallacy because we put too much money in one spot. So in either case, what do I think is going to happen with this stock? So basically, we've had a huge sell-off here in this stock, and it's been pretty massive. I think it's possible the stock could continue to move lower, because usually after a nice flush down like this, it will follow through for a little bit of time, and it's possible we could get into about a $3. Well, we're already at $3, $3.45, but around a $3 base, somewhere between $2 and $3, and hang around there for a little while. After that, I do think we will get a pop. Actually, now at this point, I think you're kind of getting into that oversold territory, where it's possible between a 2 and 250, if we get into that level, you could see quite a bit of a pop. And the reason I say that is because you're going to be basing at these levels. And if you base at those levels, there could be some people that'll start piling into this, which could drive that stock price higher. So you could say, wouldn't that be freaking awesome? So yeah, in that case, that's where my mind could shift. Now, for the time being, the stock is weak, and it could stay weak for a couple of months easily. But after that, it's possible that now you're starting to get into some of those things where it could be in your favor for that pop later on, but not yet. A little bit later on. So again, it could be a couple months, it could be a year or two. But if you're willing to hold out for it, there's a nice base right around $2 where you had a nice pop in the past, just like before. So, anyways, that's just my take on it. I hope that helps, gives you a little insight. Would I go in and nibble a little bit right now? People could say it's a nibbling opportunity, maybe, but let's say you had $100,000. Could you put $1,000 into this? Yeah. But if you had $100,000, would you put $90,000 into it? No, I wouldn't put all my money and pile all of that into this type of stock or situation. Anyways, I hope that helps, gives you some insight. Check out our options jumpstarting course at tradingwebinars.co if you're brand new to options, because that's where we trade a lot of different ways, and you can create all kinds of strategies. Even for a stock that's kind of heading lower, there's a lot of ways to play these kinds of things. And hope that helps. Truly appreciate you joining me, and I will see you kind of on the next video. So thanks and take care.